Hey everyone, Sierra Games Scott here. We are back in video 2 for Space Quest V, where we're actually going to play the game, and we're here just standing outside the classroom that I mentioned beforehand that you don't want to dot all around, which is why we're not going to explore too many things beforehand. You can see kind of off on the side there's some bloopers here, Easter egg things, where you see this is one of the Imperial, I think the Imperial shuttle from Star Wars, and there's some other gags out there. We'll take a look at some of this stuff later on. I actually did kind of restart the video because I didn't like how I was doing it last time. This is my second take, but hopefully it'll be a better one, and hopefully it'll make for a more interesting video. Let's. One thing too is I'm going to try not to save on camera or on video, on recording, whatever you want to call it, just because unfortunately this is kind of like Quest for Glory 3 if you watch that one, where it just has this long lag for whatever reason when you save it. So I don't want to waste your time like that. So I'll try not to. If we have to, we have to. Pausing sometimes causes problems too. So before continuing on, let's talk to these characters outside the classroom. Drop dead, Wilco. And Roger's a little upset. Drop dead. So they both say the same thing. You actually have two commands. This is regular asking questions. This is actually giving commands, which has a purpose later on. But if you try to boss around just regular people, did your mother have any children who live, Wilco? They do not take kindly to that. So let's, without further ado, continue on and see what is in the classroom. And you see you get the point for that, or hear the music. And this is, of course, the Charlie Brown voice, or Charlie Brown teacher's voice. Sorry I'm late, Professor. You mean the StarCon aptitude test is today? Yes, it's StarCon, not Starfleet Academy. I should have known. Yes, sir. I'll get started right away. What's that? Come talk to you after class? Yes, sir. So things haven't changed much from elementary school for Roger. Alright, so we have the StarCon aptitude test. I have the game saved here, in case anything happens, by the way, so it shouldn't be a big problem. It says, Gronko is commanding a Nova-class scout ship. When he finds himself face-to-face with 3 Horak battlecruisers, he should A. Surrender in the face of impossible odds, B. Pretend they aren't there, C. Activate his ship's self-destruct mechanism, D. Beam over a pick-you-up bouquet, E. Reboot. Alright, well, there are 3 ways to approach this puzzle. Taking the StarCon aptitude test, also the SAT, and it's actually a very short test for such an important test. Apparently it's only 10 questions, but obviously for purposes of the game that is more than enough. The 3 ways to approach this is 1, you can actually, if you know science pretty well, particularly physics, if you have pretty decent common sense, perhaps a sense of humor, and some luck, you can actually take this exam yourself and pass it. In fact, my father did it the first time. He didn't even realize that there was other ways you're supposed to handle the test. He just went through and passed it. So it is possible. That's not what Sierra anticipates, and probably doesn't anticipate most of its adventure game players to be that smart or that practical. But there are 2 other ways. I'm going to skip number 2, which is, I think, Sierra's preferred way, and skip to number 3, which is the way I'll be doing it to expedite the game. The expedited sequence is you can just look at a hint guide of somebody else who's already taken the test or gone through this sequence and just fly through the questions that way. Sierra did not anticipate cheating, or did not anticipate that sort of cheating, but let's take a look at what Sierra actually did intend. So we can actually you can look away from the exam. And let's take a look, before we go on to further explanation of the test, let's take a look around this room. You have a strange suspicion you've seen this woman before, but you just can't place her. I don't know. I don't get that. Maybe it's from some other Space Quest game. I'm just not getting it. I'm sorry. Cadet Muckblob likes to keep one eye out for trouble, which frequently causes him to bump into things. So he has one eye, of course. It's Roger. Pardon me. It's not Roger Wilco. Worf is the senior class Ambujitsu champion at the Academy. Of course, a spoof on Lieutenant Worf. I do know something about Star Trek. Cadet Antenna has been the brunt of many jibes concerning her cranial appendages. Leaving that joke alone, Cadet Offboffer is one of the horniest individuals you're likely to meet. Also leaving that joke alone. Okay, let's take a look at this character. Cadet Schleppo appears to be dull and stodgy, much like yourself. And let's take a look at this guy. Check out the brain pan on this guy. He's probably smarter than your whole family. And let's take a look at this thing. A Proctomatic 9000 anti-cheat droid floats malevolently about the classroom, maintaining a vigilant lookout for any student hijinks during the SAT test. Currently, the droid is monitoring you with its visual scanners. Best keep your eyes on your own test. Alright, so this is kind of a hint. This guy is not too bright. This guy is very bright. This thing is making sure you can't cheat. Now, aside from the fact that having a camera or something in the front of the room, or even a person in the front of the room would probably do a better job monitoring the test, unless the room is a lot bigger than we were led to believe, than just something that floats around but only can keep a lookout on you for certain times and nothing programmed in the back. Despite how impractical that is, it does serve a purpose of at least a hint that the way to pass this test, if you are not particularly bright, or not exceedingly bright perhaps I should say, is you actually do cheat within the game. So it's teaching kids good lessons. Essentially, it tells us what? That this guy is not so bright. This guy's kind of like Roger. These are the only two desks you can look at, by the way. And this guy is very bright. You want to look at his tests. But this guy's looking around. So when his eyes are on you, you can't cheat. When his eyes are away, you can cheat. So let's take a look at what happens when you look at this guy. Alright, so you look at his exam, he kind of looks over and he has the third answer picked, but that's not the right answer. And you gotta be careful for this guy, so I'm just gonna hide behind the guy's head. Let's take a look at that. Oh shoot. Well, I'll show you what happens, I guess, when you get busted. I was gonna show you afterwards, but I got caught. So yeah, you just get thrown out of the StarCon Academy, and then this little message comes up. Maybe you should have taken the correspondence course. Okay, so we'll try not to do that again. Restore, but that actually works out, so I don't have to do it over. I can just get the points right away, and then we can go get through this exam. So, let's wait for that thing to turn around, and there we go. So you get the points. You can see this guy has 4 selected, or D selected instead of 3 or C, and he's the smarter guy. You get points for that. And if you do that repeatedly, make sure you avoid the droid, and then look back down your paper, or your monitor, whatever you want to call it, and put the answer down that he has. You can keep doing that. And the correct answer is D, beam over, pick you up bouquet, which actually isn't very commonsensical. I don't know. Maybe you can't do it. I thought you could. My dad swears told me that he did it without looking, so maybe he just has the right sense of humor for this game. I don't know. In any event, the reason why I restarted it was I was initially just going to fly through those questions and maybe do a bonus video going through them, but A, I'd never actually get around to the bonus videos, as we know, and B, I think it makes kind of for a boring video, so let's just use the duration of our time. We'll just go through it, I'll answer the right questions, and perhaps you can get a kick out of some of the answers and some of the questions we have. There's only 10 of them. When encountering an alien ship for the first time, you should immediately A, open fire with every weapon at your disposal, B, broadcast Wagner's ride of the Valkyries over the comlink, C, beam your entire crew over to their ship as a gesture of goodwill, D, B, and then A, E, none of the above. The answer is E. If you're playing at home, you can pause the video before I give the answer and see how well you do. Except for question 1, since I don't see that coming. Alright, before beaming down to an unexplored planet for the first time, you should be sure to check A, to see that your seatbelt is fastened and tray tables are lockly secured in the upright position. B, your fly. C, your life insurance coverage. D, the Fetzer valve in your oxygen mask. E, the planet's atmospheric readings. And the answer to that is E. So that one's a little bit more of a commonsensical or scientific answer. You're marooned on an alien planet with no weapons and a killer android out for your blood. You should... pardon me. You're marooned on an alien planet with no weapons and a killer android out for your blood. You probably should say a killer android is out for your blood or something. I don't know. In any event, gather basic ingredients to make gunpowder and fashion a cannon from vines and sticks. Stuff a banana in its exhaust pipe. C, drop a big rock on the robot and shout, "Hasta la vista, baby." Roll in the mud to camouflage yourself. E, climb a tree, flap your arms wildly, and scream "tweet tweet" at the top of your lungs in order to mimic the mating behavior of the ruby-throated Arcturian swine falcon as a diversionary tactic. The answer to this one, question 4, is C. 5. You're in an EVA with a partner, and you notice his face is turning blue, and he is clutching wildly at his throat. This is a sign that A, you will soon need a new partner. That's probably right. B, in a burst of creative insight, he has created a new dance called the moonwalk. C. He is suffering from a vitamin deficiency and needs to eat more leafy green vegetables. D. He fell for the old golf ball in the air hose trick. E, A, and D. And actually, E is the correct one, so I was half right. So there is some common sense to it, I think, which may be part of it as well. To ensure that your crew's microwave meals are heated adequately and evenly on board, your ship should A. Wrap everything in aluminum foil. B. Cook each meal at the maximum power setting for 45 minutes. C. Put a live space environment in each meal so you can more easily determine when it's done. D. Huck the thing and settle for roasting wieners on the maneuvering jets. E. Inject a radioactive plutonium isotope into each piece of food. When it glows, it's ready. And the answer for 6 is C. I may have to cut it short. I hope we don't have to. If Grebe leaves the Crab Nebula at 32 GST, Galactic Standard Time, and travels at 9.75 million ZPM, how long will it take him to reach planet Davacon 5 if he has the solar wind at his back? 49.3 hours. He will never reach Davacon 5. The solar wind is highly unstable and will blow him off course. 3.75 standard days. 4930 GST. Never. The neutron star at the center of the Crab Nebula is so massive that Grebe's ship can never reach escape velocity. And the answer for 7 is E. I thought that was an actual science question or a math question. How fast does light travel through a vacuum? 186,000 MPS. Very, 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 etc. Fast. 669, 600. Whatever, billion, million, pardon me, I'm an idiot, miles per hour. Depends whether it's an upright or canister vacuum. And 8 is, the answer is D. So, maybe my dad just got the humor for this game, which is why he got through it. Which is an example of a fuzzy boundary, the area in space between two planetary objects where a smaller third object is not clearly under the gravitational influence of either. B. The event horizon of a supermassive black hole. C. The place where a receding hairline gives way to bare scalp. D. The point at which the marginal utility of trying to squeeze the last bit of toothpaste from the tube is offset by the opportunity cost of going to the store for a new one. A little bit of an economics answer there. 9 is A. So this is an actual science question answer. I did kind of know that. To successfully accomplish a manual molecular reintegration bypass on a standard transporter unit, you should A. Reverse the phase polarity of the interface grid. B. Juggle the handle. C. Pray fervently to whatever deity you happen to believe in. D. C. Then B. E. Switch to US Sprint. And the answer to the last question is A. So, there you go. And that is the exam. And we have a little bit of time left on the clock. The test's over already. Yeah, 10 quick question test, yes. Yes, sir. I agree that cleaning the Academy crest is an appropriate punishment for being late to class. I'll get right on it. So I'm not giving Ryder a voice. I can't remember what I used last time. I'll give him something at some point. So that is the test, and I think let's just, not to make this video too long or risk getting caught at the end, let's call that quits. So we have taken the SAT. We'll find out the results afterwards. Was the hint guide faithful? Was the hint guide correct? We'll find out next time in CR Gates Scott Presents Space Quest 5. Until then, take care.